Let me ask you something honest. How long have you been studying English? A year? 2 years? Maybe more? And yet, when someone speaks to you in real life, you freeze. Your mind goes blank. You know the grammar. You pass the tests. But the words just don't come out. I know that feeling. And I'm here to tell you it's not your fault. Nobody ever taught you the secret. The secret is this: English is not a list of words to memorize. It's a set of patterns, formulas. And once you learn these formulas, you can build any sentence, in any situation, in seconds. Welcome to the English Beat. I'm Sarah. And this is not a regular English lesson. This is a masterclass. By the time this series is finished, you will have everything you need to hold a real conversation in English, confidently, naturally, and without freezing. Today is video 1, the foundation. We're going to cover 3 essential groups of sentence patterns: wants and wishes, future and plans, and ability and permission. These are the building blocks of everyday English. Grab a notebook. We're going in deep. Let's go. Before we dive into the patterns, I want to give you something that will change how you see English forever. And it takes about 60 seconds to explain. Every English sentence, every single one, follows this basic structure. Subject, verb, object or information. That's it. Subject, who is doing something. Verb, what they are doing. Object, what or who they are doing it to, or extra information. For example, I eat rice. Subject, I. Verb, eat. Object, rice. Simple. She is reading a book. Subject, she. Verb, is reading. Object, a book. We are going to the market. Subject, we. Verb, are going. Information, to the market. Now, the magic happens when you put a pattern word between the subject and the main action. Like this. Subject, pattern word, base verb, object. For example, I want to eat rice. She is going to read a book. We can go to the market. See what happened? I inserted a pattern word and the meaning changed completely. That is exactly what we are going to learn today. 10 pattern words. 10 formulas. Unlimited sentences. Pause right now and write this formula in your notebook. Take a photo and share it in the comments. I want to see it. Group 1 is all about expressing what you want, what you wish for, and what you would like. These are the most natural, most used phrases in daily English. Let's go one by one. Pattern 1. I want to. This is the most direct way to express a desire or a goal. The formula is subject, want to, base verb, object or information. Examples. I want to learn English. She wants to eat something. They want to go home. Notice, when the subject is he, she, or it, we say wants to, not want to. Very important. I, you, we, they want to. He, she, it wants to. Now, how do you make it a question? Simple. Do you want to grab some coffee? Does he want to join us? And negative? I don't want to be late. She doesn't want to talk right now. Practice this out loud right now. I want to improve my English every day. Now say your own version. What do you want to do? Say it out loud right now. Pattern 2. I'd like to. This is the short form of I would like to. This is the polite version of I want to. You use this in formal situations, with strangers, at restaurants, in offices, when you want to sound more professional and respectful. The formula is subject, would like to, base verb. Examples. I'd like to order a coffee, please. She'd like to schedule a meeting. We'd like to apply for the position. Here is the key difference. I want to, casual and direct. I'd like to, polite and professional. In daily life, at a restaurant, in an office, with a new person, always use I'd like to instead of I want to. It sounds softer, more polished, more native. Question form. Would you like to join us for dinner? Would you like to take a look at the menu? I have a challenge for you. Comment below and finish the sentence. I'd like to blank this year. Tell me your dream. I read every comment. Pattern 3. I wish I could. This one is for dreams. Things you want but can't do right now. Things that feel out of reach. It's emotional, expressive English, and native speakers use it all the time. The formula is subject, wish, subject, could, base verb. Examples. I wish I could speak 5 languages. I wish I could travel the world. I wish I could help you, but I'm busy right now. Notice, after I wish, we use could, not can. This is because we're talking about something imaginary or impossible right now. It's called a hypothetical. We're imagining a different reality. So remember, I wish I can wrong. I wish I could correct. You can also say I wish I could have for things in the past that didn't happen. I wish I could have studied more when I was young. I wish I could have met her before she left. Mini exercise. Write your own sentence, I wish I could blink. Think of something real. Say it out loud 3 times. Pattern 4. I feel like. This is one of the most natural, most casual phrases in spoken English. It expresses a current feeling, desire, or opinion, and it sounds immediately native. The formula is subject, feel like, noun or verb plus ing. Examples. I feel like eating pizza tonight. I feel like something is wrong. I feel like giving up sometimes, but then I remember why I started. I feel like can also mean, in my opinion, a soft, personal way to share a thought without sounding too direct or aggressive. I feel like this plan needs more time. I feel like we should talk about this. Use I feel like to sound natural, conversational, and emotionally expressive. It's one of those phrases that instantly makes your English sound more human. Now we move to group 2. Future and plans. How do you talk about what you will do, what you're planning to do, and what you're thinking about doing? There are 3 main patterns, and each one has a slightly different meaning. Let's break them down. Pattern 5. I will. This is used for decisions made in the moment, promises, and predictions about the future. The formula is subject, will, base verb. Examples. I will call you later, that's a promise. It will rain tomorrow, that's a prediction. Someone says, can anyone help me? And you say, I will do it. That's an instant decision made right now. The short form is I'll, and native speakers almost always use the short form in conversation. I'll be there in 5 minutes. She'll love this gift. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. Negative, will not becomes won't. I won't be late, I promise. He won't understand unless you explain slowly. Use will for instant decisions, promises, and predictions. Not for things you planned before. Pattern 6. I'm going to. This is used for plans and intentions that were decided before the moment of speaking. The key difference from will is that this was already decided. The formula is subject, am or is or are, going to base verb. Examples. I'm going to study tonight, plan already decided. She's going to visit her parents this weekend, intention. We're going to open a new office next year, future plan. Here is the simplest way to remember the difference between will and going to. Will, decided right now, in this moment. Going to, decided before, already planned. Real life comparison. The phone is ringing, I'll get it. That's will, instant decision made right now. Compare that to, I'm going to the gym after work, said in the morning. That's going to, pre-planned. Tell me one thing you're going to do this week. Comment, I'm going to blink. I want to read yours. Pattern 7. I'm planning to. And I'm thinking of. These are softer, more uncertain ways to talk about future ideas. They suggest the plan is not 100% confirmed yet. Very natural in real conversation. Formula 1. Subject, am or is or are, planning to, base verb. Formula 2. Subject, am or is or are, thinking of, verb plus ing. Examples. I'm planning to move to a new city next year. She's thinking of studying abroad. We're planning to launch the product in spring. He's thinking of starting his own business. The small difference between the two. Planning to, slightly more decided. Thinking of, still considering, not fully sure. These sound very natural in conversation because they show you're honest about uncertainty. Real people don't always have 100% sure plans, and this language reflects that. Drop your sentence in the comments. I'm thinking of blank soon. Now group 3. Ability and permission. This group is about what you can do, what you are allowed to do, and how to ask for permission politely. These patterns come up in almost every real conversation, at work, with friends, in public. Pattern 8. I can. And I can't. The most basic way to express ability, what you are physically or mentally able to do. Formula, subject, can base verb. Examples. I can speak 3 languages. She can drive, but she doesn't have a car. Can you help me with this? That's the question form. I can't come tonight. I have other plans. That's the negative. Can is also used for offers and requests. I can help you with that offer. Can you pass the salt request? Can equals ability in the present. Can equals not able or not possible right now. Pattern 9. I could. And could you? This is the past form of can, but in conversation, we use it mostly for polite requests and suggestions, not just for past ability. Formula for polite request: could subject, base verb, question mark. Examples. Could you please speak more slowly? Polite request. Could I borrow your pen? Asking permission politely. We could go to the park if the weather is good. Suggestion. I could help you move this weekend if you need it. Offer. Could is softer and more polite than can. In formal situations, use could. With close friends, can is fine. The politeness scale goes like this. Can casual. Could polite. Would you mind very formal. Practice right now. Ask me something politely using could you. Write it in the comments. Pattern 10. May I? Can I? Could I? Asking for permission. This is something English learners often get wrong. They say I want to go when they should say may I go or can I go. The pattern matters. Formula: may I or can I or could I, base verb. Examples. May I use your phone? Very polite, very formal. Can I sit here? Casual, every day. Could I leave early today? Polite, workplace appropriate. The 3 levels. Can I for friends, family, casual situations. Could I for workplace, new people, semi-formal. May I for very formal, respectful, professional situations. In real life, can I is used 80% of the time. But knowing all 3 makes you sound educated and adaptable. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the most common mistakes learners make with today's patterns. Mistake 1. Wrong verb form after pattern words. After want to, going to, plan to, always use the base verb. No ing. No addition. I want to eating wrong. I want to eat correct. She is going to studied wrong. She is going to study correct. Mistake 2. Forgetting to after want. I want go home wrong. I want to go home correct. Mistake 3. Using will for pre-planned events. Tomorrow I will have a meeting. If it was already scheduled, this is wrong. The correct version is tomorrow I'm going to have a meeting. Mistake 4. I wish I can instead of I wish I could. I wish I can speak English perfectly wrong. I wish I could speak English perfectly correct. Mistake 5. Being too direct with requests. Saying I want water to a waiter sounds very blunt. Instead say, I'd like some water please. Or, could I get some water? Remember, English politeness is often in the pattern, not just in the words. I want to take 30 seconds and say something important, not about grammar, but about you. A lot of people who watch videos like this already know English. They know the words. They know the rules. But they don't speak because they're afraid of making mistakes. Here is what I want you to hear. Mistakes are not failure. Mistakes are how language works. Every native speaker makes mistakes every single day. The goal is not perfection. The goal is connection. You don't need a perfect sentence. You need a brave one. One attempt. One try. That's how confidence is built, not by studying more, but by doing more. Start today. Use one of the patterns from this video in a real sentence. Say it out loud. Send it to a friend. Write it in the comments. Every time you use it, it becomes more natural. Let's do a fast recap of everything we covered today. 10 patterns across 3 groups. Group 1, wants and wishes. Pattern 1. I want to, direct desire. Pattern 2. I'd like to, polite desire. Pattern 3. I wish I could, dream or imaginary wish. Pattern 4. I feel like, current feeling or soft opinion. Group 2, future and plans. Pattern 5. I will, instant decision, promise or prediction. Pattern 6. I'm going to, pre-planned intention. Pattern 7. I'm planning to or thinking of, uncertain future idea. Group 3, ability and permission. Pattern 8. I can, I can't, ability. Pattern 9. I could you, polite request or suggestion. Pattern 10. May I, can I, could I, asking permission. These 10 patterns, used correctly, will handle the majority of your daily English conversations. Practice them. Own them. That's video 1 of the English Conversation Masterclass. If this helped you, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more learners just like you. And I have a challenge for you. In the comments, write 3 sentences using today's patterns. 1 from each group. I will personally read every single one. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that button right now. Because video 2 is coming soon, and we're going deep into feelings and opinions, requests and politeness, and how to talk about the past. You do not want to miss it. Share this video with one friend who is learning English. One share makes a bigger difference than you think. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Keep going. Every sentence you speak is one step closer to fluency. You've absolutely got this.